This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. Well, the annual Greater Cincinnati Amateur Radio Association, GCARA 1936 net, was a big success again this year. Early check-ins started coming in a little after 6 p.m., with the official net starting at 9 p.m., with Bill, NM4A, serving as net control. This net goes back many years and has a tremendous historical significance in the amateur radio community.
41. December 8th, the FCC shut down amateur radio activities, and the net got reformed in 1986 when the GCARA celebrated its 50th anniversary. And interestingly enough, a number of the folks that helped restart the net were part of the original net activities. Al Haller, W8PBX, among them. Al was kind of the grandfather, if you will, of the net, and also a good friend that I met when I got my license in 1961. Al lived not too far from me, and we used to ride our bicycle over not only to Al's house, but also to his TV service shop. And then much later in my career, Al was my salesman at Hughes Peters, which was the big electronics parts house here in Cincinnati, and I was one of his customers, so we got to be good friends there, and friends right up to the very end. Jeff, W8GNM, and I visited with Al only a day or two prior to his passing, and at that point he asked Jeff and I to look after his net for him, and that's been a few years already. So that's a little bit of the background and the history. This is KCJY, Madera, Ohio, near Cincinnati, and we'll be standing by for any pre-net check-in here on the 1936 annual AM night.
When the net closed, there were 39 stations in the log from 14 different states. One of the nets that a lot of people look forward to every year. A reminder that the GCARA 1936 net meets every Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, usually on 1.936 megahertz lower sideband. And this is a great net to check in to every Thursday night. Congratulations to John Levo, W8KIW, who was awarded the 2025 Alan Sevison AB8P Memorial Award, previously known as the Ohio Section Ham of the Year Award. This was a well-deserved recognition for all the time and effort and accomplishment that John has put into serving the ham, not only in his local club, but all the hams in the Ohio Section. Congratulations, John. John May, WA4BKX, 72 years of age, from West Liberty, Kentucky, has become a silent key. Our prayers to his family and friends. Registration is now open for all sessions of the 2026 ARRL Teachers Institute on Wireless Technology. Teachers Institute is the ARRL's professional development program designed to help classroom teachers evaluate their STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math programs through the use of wireless technology. Full summer of session will be held at the ARRL headquarters in Newington, Connecticut, as well as several sessions around the country. For more information, go to ARRL.org/TI. The ARRL is kicking off the America 250 Worked All States operating event in 2026. The Kentucky section is already starting to plan their participation. Each section will have 2 opportunities to operate W1AW with their call sign district. Kentucky will operate W1AW/4 from March 18th through March 24th, and again September 9th through September 15th. This event is centered around each affiliated club, and each of the 44 affiliated clubs in Kentucky is encouraged to start working on what they can do in the event and communicate with the Kentucky Affiliated Club Coordinator, Steve Morgan, W4NHO, at W4NHO@ARRL.net. For more information on this event, go to ARRL.org/America250-WAF. The ARRL Straight Key Night is held every year on January 1st. Straight Key Night is on the air from 0000 UTC through 2359 UTC. This 24-hour event is not a contest, but rather it is a day dedicated in celebrating our CW heritage. Participants are encouraged to get on the air and simply make enjoyable conversational CW QSOs with the use of straight keys or bugs to send CW. Last year, 144 hams participated in the event, reporting 945 contacts, many making their very first CW contact. For more information, go to awrl.org/straight-key-night. KO4YLT has announced a new net starting on the first Monday of every month will be the Kentucky Weather Net on the XLX 721 system. More details are to come. A free weekly live amateur radio extra class licensing course on Zoom will begin on Thursday, January 15, 2026, and will run through Thursday, March 26. There will be 11 sessions. The 3-hour sessions will start at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time and will also be recorded. These are classes that have been held for years, sponsored by the Amateur Radio Club of the National Electronics Museum. Those wishing to sign up should email roland@comcast.net. December is Youth on the Air month, where in the U.S., special one-by-one call signs will be used by young hams working the airwaves with the special event stations to encourage other young hams to be active on the amateur radio band. There will be demonstrations at schools introducing students to the wonderful world of amateur radio, as well as introducing ham radio to friends while making memorable QSOs and enjoying great pile-up. Help fill the logbooks of these young hams by working as many of them as you can. For more information, go to youthontheair.org. Support the future of AM radio. Applications for the 2026 Youth on the Air Camp have opened up. If you know a young ham between the age of 15 and 25 that would like to attend the camp on June 14th through the 19th in Huntsville, Alabama, have them go over to youthontheair.org for the information on how to apply. This will be a neat space camp adventure. Starting on December 30th, the ARRL Foundation Scholarship Program opens the application period for eligible amateur radio operators pursuing their higher education. The ARRL Foundation manages more than 150 scholarships established by generous donors ranging from $500 to $25,000. To apply, go to awrl.org/scholarship-program. The Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club is offering free live online classes to help get your amateur ham radio general class license. Classes start on Sunday, January 11, 2026, and all the sessions are held live via Zoom and are free. For information or to register, visit tiny.cc/BEAHAMG.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Hamfest.
January 18, 2026 is the SCARF Hamfest at the Shade Community Center, 2380 Old US 33 in Shade, Ohio. January 31st, 2026 is the Struthers Roar, a midwinter hamfest at the St. Nick's Hall, 764 5th Street in Struthers, Ohio.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. On January 10th, 2026, the Westchester Amateur Radio Association will host an amateur radio exam session at 10 a.m. at the Voice of America Museum, 8070 Tylersville Road in Westchester, Ohio. To register, go to hamstudy.org/session/WC8VOA. January 10th at 8:30 a.m., the Stark County VE team will hold a ham radio testing session at St. Paul's Lutheran Church, 127 Cherry Road in Massillon, Ohio. For more information, call 330-832-0609. On January 11th, the Cuyahoga Amateur Radio Society will host an amateur radio exam session at 9:15 a.m. at the Old Elmwood Recreation Center, 6200 Winooski Parkway in Independence, Ohio. For more information, email metro351@sbcglobal.net. January 19th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by going to hamstudy.org/session/NKY-VE. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: WB8VNH, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area, this is Jack Prindle, AB4WS in Big Bone, Kentucky.